The Bunnyman. Okay, I should probably start from the beginning of the story. Breathe. Just breathe. Breathe. Where is the beginning? I'll start from after the war. Please don't laugh at my story. I'm not crazy. After the war, the country became more populated with refugees. Some of the refugees were crazy because of the terror and murder they had seen. Others grew mad because of how many people were moving in. Riots broke out, and the government dealt with this problem by creating an asylum for the really insane. No one wanted to live near the asylum, and more riots broke out. They then moved the asylum to an isolated hill near the woods. While they were transferring the prisoners, some of them escaped into the woods. Only 2 were never found: Marcus and Griffin. One day, the police found a trail of mutilated animals, including something that looked like human flesh. The trail led to a tunnel, the Bunnyman tunnel. Hanging upside down in front of the tunnel was a gruesome sight: 2 old, distorted bodies. The bodies were of Marcus and Griffin. Sticky taped to the heads of the rotten bodies was a note. The note read, "If anyone enters Bunnyman Tunnel, the Bunnyman will get them." I wish I didn't do it. I wished I listened to the note. It was a rainy day, and my friends and I were bored, so we decided to go to the Bunnyman Tunnel. The rules were, whoever stayed in Bunnyman Tunnel for the longest won. You had to record your time in the tunnel to prove that you had actually gone into the tunnel, and not walked into it and out the other side. We were so stupid. Why did we do it? Why? I don't know. I wish we hadn't. We had just arrived at the tunnel. It was Mike's turn first. He was going with Sarah. They came out after 2 minutes. I remember clearly what their facial expression was: pure terror. "Scratching, the scratching," they would whisper. My turn was last. Time was going faster and faster. People were staying in shorter and shorter. They would mutter things like "growing louder" or "the scratching was there." My turn had arrived sooner than I expected. This is the hard bit to go through. Just breathe. Breathe. My turn had arrived. I entered the dark tunnel and switched my camera on. The light of my torch gave barely enough light to see what was in front of me. I started recording, speaking every now and again, just to cease the silence. The rain above hammered on the roof of the tunnel, making the pit-pattering echo around the dark chamber. I got lost in thought. The darkness surrounding me, swallowing me up. My torch only makes it worse, casting shadows on the already dark walls. I hardly notice it at first, but it keeps growing louder, edging its way into my mind. The tapping had started. It taps down near the end of the tunnel first, growing louder as it comes closer. It almost blended in with the rain, but it was different. Something about it was just different. Oh, I don't think I can keep going. I just can't. Come on, you can do it. I can do it. Just breathe. Breathe. The screams had echoed through the tunnel. The tapping had stopped. My heart dropped. I turned towards the entrance of the tunnel. I could just see my friends running around and shouting for help. 3 bodies lay on the ground, unmoving. I ran and ran, trying to help my friends, but the tunnel felt like it was growing longer and longer, not letting me get to my helpless friends. I stopped, catching my breath, and when I looked up, I saw a large figure standing in front of me. A long, thin rod was held out in his hands, glinting in the moonlight, dripping thick with dark blood. Everything after this is a blur. I can't really remember anything after this point. What I do remember is waking up covered in my friend's blood, police around me. They tried to do therapy. It didn't work. I told them what I saw. They didn't believe me. Of course they didn't. They don't let me see the real world now. They haven't told me who they think did the murder. Maybe they think it was me? I I know it wasn't. I can still remember the long ears poking out of the head, the ragged fur of the creature. We had met the Bunnyman.